Oh, the camera's on? Oh, okay. Um, alright, YouTube, it's Shadow King Nazru, and I'm, here with my review of Lucy. Huh. You know, when I did my review of X-Men Days of Future Past, I just said it was okay. Um, I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys could see that I was kind of underwhelmed by it. It wasn't bad, but it certainly wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. And it certainly as hell wasn't as great as everybody else is making it out to be. And I thought this was going to be like the most disappointing movie I've seen uh, this year. But oh boy, that after seeing Lucy, that changed. Now, granted, I was not originally intending to go see Lucy. But I wanted to go see the movies, and there wasn't really much out. And my only two options were either Guardians of the Galaxy or Lucy. And I certainly was not going to see Guardians of the Galaxy. So I decided to watch Lucy. So, what's Lucy about? Well, supposedly, it's about this woman who unintentionally gets involved with these Chinese drug lords who are distributing this new drug called CHP4. I mean CPH4, which is some kind of uh, compound that's only ever found when uh, when women are pregnant with babies, so they can develop. And she has the drug inside her along with a few other people, and it gets into her body, and she starts to uh, develop superpowers. The first being that she's able to ignore her pain, uh, able to understand different languages, and what have you, and she starts taking out her revenge on the Chinese drug people. And when she gets to the drug lord, you think that she probably kill him, but she doesn't. Even though it would be so easy for her to do so. But why did she do that? Because the plot said so. Stupid. I mean, after all, we need an antagonist. But that's the problem. An antagonist needs to be challenging and threatening to the protagonist, which would be Lucy. But as the movie goes on progressively, we see that that's not going to be the case. What you probably may or may not know, this movie is betting itself off the whole "we only use 10% of our brains" myth. Yes, that's a myth. We actually use a lot more. Some people argue that we actually use 100% of our brain, but take that with you will. I can guarantee you that it's more than 10%. And thanks to a little bit exposition from Morgan Freeman, he feels that with his theories that if we were to develop 20%, we would uh, be able to be like as smart as dolphins and have control of the body, control of our people, around the 40%, and so on and so forth. And you're starting to see where the problem is going. Eventually, Lucy gets so powerful that she's practically unstoppable. She can stop, she can control people, stop them, levitate them, control information, uh, travel time. They basically made her into an omnipotent being. Yes, they. That's pretty much where it ends off with. And the only conflict for her is that it's herself. That she's becoming so powerful that she's eventually going to be torn apart by it, and that's the only conflict. Though the movie will try to fool you into thinking that the uh, the Chinese drug lords are still the big threat, even though they really are. They've really become irrelevant. And um, that's a huge problem. The story that has very little to no conflict because the protagonist is practically invincible, and we don't see Lucy develop much from this. Aside from her just learning how the universe works, the how and how she's slowly becoming detached from her human side, which brings me to another point that they had this Hispanic or French guy. I forget what ethnicity he was, and um, he's supposed to be like the romantic interest, but he's definitely a fry, which Erod said stands for a forced romantic interest, and he is the most forced romantic interest I've ever seen. Because Lucy literally stated out loud that she is keeping him around and kissing him just to remind herself what it's like to be human. Wow, just wow. And yes, so it eventually ends off with Lucy uh, traversing through back in time, all the way back to creation, and before the drug lord can kill her, assuming that he could do that, she becomes omnipresent and transfer all her knowledge into a supercomputer, to some kind of like alien-like symbiote supercomputer that gives Morgan Freeman a flash drive of all of the knowledge of the universe. And the drug lord gets killed by the Spanish or French guy. And then it pretty much ends off with Lucy saying that, yeah, the universe was created six was created billions of years ago and gave life to humanity, and now they know what to do with knowledge and blah blah blah. Uh, yeah. What do I think of this movie overall? This movie is kind of meh. It had it seems like it might have been could have been had it had potential to be a pretty fun movie if they just had not amped it up to making Lucy a godlike being to the point where there's practically no conflict, and they could have also definitely have done without the animal symbolisms like uh, trying to symbolize that the Chinese people that were preying on Lucy were like cheetahs preying on an antelope. Okay, like okay, we get it. And I'm not entirely sure if this would lead into some sort of religious controversy, though chances are it probably might, especially since this movie does shares a little bit of Darwinism in it. But overall, this movie is really meh. You can, if I would kind of recommend it for a first look because the special effects are really impressive, especially when she has part of her body turn into the supercomputer because it kind of looked like the Venom symbiote, which looked a little bit more impressive than the symbiote in Raimi Man 3, which really which had a smaller which the movie had a smaller budget than Raimi Man 3, which really shows how far technology has gotten. So, like I said, you should probably watch it like one time and just say, well, it was okay, whatever. So, yeah, that was Lucy, and I'll see you guys around later. Yeah.